Distinguished Toastmaster Zunair Zafar, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you doing, Fadan?
I'm very well. How long has it been? I mean, when I was there last time, I missed meeting you. So it's been 2 years, right?
I think, yeah, it's been 2 years. It's been a long time.
But it
So
was
when you're
worth it
coming back, we are
because
looking
we met
forward to have
over
you back.
the. Sorry, I'm sorry. I was so excited talking about this. We met over the Lahore Nashta, so it was very memorable. Remember?
Yeah, we missed that nashta. I'm not sure with this coming Eid whether we'll be having it or not because of all this lockdown and everything. So let's see. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, weird times. So how's it going in Lahore? What's Lahore like nowadays?
Oh, well, it's a different kind of a lockdown. I mean, the doctors want it to be more strict,
Mm-hmm.
but the public wants it to be more lenient. So we're confused as always. We are a confused nation. So even in lockdown, we're confused. You can go out. There are no restrictions of any kind, but uh, you know, the shops they close at 5, but you can go out and nobody's going to ask you anything. So it's a mixed state. It's a confused state.
Not the Lahore like we remember.
Definitely not the law. I mean, if you go out at 7 or 8, it's not the same excitement on the roads, not the same traffic and everything. So yeah, not the same Lahore.
Cool. So, Zunair, I know you're an accomplished accountant and you have progress like nobody else. I can give a talk on it, like how wonderful a professional you are. But today I wanted to talk about different thing, and that is the Toastmasters culture in Pakistan. I personally had the experience of joining a Toastmasters club. I remained with them for a couple of years. It was a wonderful community. I loved going there to the meetings. And therefore, I was concerned what's happening in Pakistan. And then I came to know that you are into Toastmasters. In fact, you're in the forefronts of it. So let's talk first about why public speaking skills and clubs like Toastmasters are important in Pakistan, and then tell us about Toastmasters culture going on there. What's happening?
Okay, first of all, Pakistanis are talented people. The problem is that they don't have the focus, they don't have the right direction, which is why all of them are working towards 9 to 5 jobs and just a family life and a busy life and really not getting the most out of their lives. Now, the biggest problem is within the education system in Pakistan, they don't teach you about communication, leadership skills, self improvement, or any of your self realization stuff. It's mostly about core and rigid curriculum, which is good, which is great. I mean, we are good at these kind of things, but when you exceed from a certain level, then it's all those human skills that matter. Are you able to convince the other person with your point of view? Are you able to think like the other person, show the kind of empathy? And these are the kind of traits that we struggle with because we are not trained in these kind of things. So I stumbled upon Toastmasters. That's almost like 6 or 7 years from now. I had qualified my accountancy. I was starting my job. I moved back to my home city, and I wanted to do something different. I realized that I have a very small network of people that I know because I went to school with them, or I'm friends with them, or my colleagues, but not really different kind of people. So, for example, I hardly knew any doctors at that time or any IT people. And this was the kind of realization that came to me quite early. So, from that understanding, I started looking for opportunities to network with people. And from within my own child accountant community, I came to know about a club which focused on communication and a couple of other things. I wasn't really sure about it, but I went for it. I liked it, and I saw the opportunity that here I'll get to meet new people, connect with them. And the reason I stayed there was because they made me realize that I'm not as good at communication as I think I am. There is that role of R counter who counts the number of R's and or all the crutch sounds that you make when you're talking. And when I gave my introduction, which was nothing like only 1 to 2 minutes, and towards the end of the session, they were naming each and every one, and they said Zunair Zafar 13 R's. And I was like, I'm not that bad. At least I thought I'm not that bad. But that made me realize that I do need to improve. It got me, to come back to that meeting and again. And after some time, I was getting so much value out of it that I stayed. I stayed for a long time. It's been like 7 years now. I'm more involved in it than ever before. And I think these are amazing times for the Toastmasters activity in Pakistan. So a bit brief background of what's happening in Pakistan, what has been happening in Pakistan with respect to Toastmasters. So all those Toastmasters out there would know that there's a structure, that there are districts and divisions and areas, and under them that clubs exist. But some clubs do not come under the structure. For example, in Pakistan, we were operating as undistricted, which meant that there was no formal structure connecting all the clubs, and there were hardly any clubs there. We were something like 9 to 10 clubs in the whole of Pakistan. We have a huge population and educated people here, but still only 9 to 10 clubs, which is nothing. And then, we all came together. We realized that there will be benefit of getting together, connecting with each other, and having those structures. So we started developing with all the clubs. We started coming together and establishing more clubs. And we reached a bare minimum threshold of 20. After that, we got the approval of a territorial council. So now we are a territorial council. We are in our first year, which is about to end this June, and we have made amazing progress. And it's, I believe, all those people and brains coming together is really helping us grow and get the value out of our time and experience. And if you look at our neighbors, India has something like 900 clubs. We are at the moment 27. And of course, India has a huge population. We can't compete with that. But even if we compare with the size, still 27 clubs is nothing. We have the potential to be probably 50 or at least more than that. So we are trying for that.
So, I mean, like you said, it improves your communication skills without you even knowing. I remember when I was 15, 16, I don't even remember now. It was my cousin's engagement, and there were hundreds of people there. And somebody gave me the mic and said, say something about him. And I don't know why. I was drunk with milk or something, but I took the mic and I started speaking. And when I was done, I was so embarrassed that what the heck did I say? I mean, I had nothing to say. And that was perhaps the moment I said, I should know what to say, when to say. And when I came here, I saw the culture of sharing, like in weddings, in even funerals, people express themselves in words. And we can do that even in Urdu. We don't have that culture. So that is what I felt the most value has the Toastmasters clubs have to offer, that they give you the voice, what to say in the beginning, what to say in the middle, and what to say at the end. Do
And
you
how
have
to say.
any such distinct difference that you felt like when I said something like this 10 years ago as compared to when I said the same thing now, it was very different?
Oh, absolutely. I think the first difference that I felt was in the way I was, going into interviews and the kind of confidence I had later and the kind of confidence I was lacking. Because this was the time I qualified. I had been through a number of interviews before that and a couple of interviews after that as well. And I wish I did not go into those interviews unprepared like I was, because I simply never knew what to say. The prime question that every HR person asks you, the first question that they ask you is, tell something about yourself. And that was the time before Toastmasters when I couldn't even handle that question. I, I, I even prepared for those answers, but I just couldn't ace it. I couldn't deliver that in a way that would be effective. But afterwards, I had a lot more confidence. So I was, I worked into jobs where I was interacting with a lot of foreigners. We had clients abroad, and not just in the US, but in Mexico, Germany, Japan, Thailand. So all the different diverse backgrounds and everyone having their own accent and everything. But I had a lot of confidence. I knew how to handle the complicated, discussions that we were having, how to resolve the conflicts, how to establish relationships with the people. And all of this came because I had this ground where I could experiment with. In Toastmasters, the best thing is that you can never be wrong. I mean, it's not pass or fail. You go in, even if you don't deliver something in a way that you were required to, you will get the feedback and still you will learn something. And you have the option to do it again and again and many times again. So this is the kind of experimental background that you don't want to experiment with in your professional life. You don't want to enter into an official meeting room, with a committee or board of directors and not able to do what you wanted to do. But if you have some place where you can experiment, and you can't really do that with friends either, because there will never be that kind of maturity or seriousness. I mean, they're sincere as hell, but hey, come on, they'll make fun of you. But you need people who have been through the same kind of path, and they understand what you want and why you're here. So that critical feedback, that useful, effective feedback delivered in a way that's tailored to your needs and in an environment which is not, which is really helpful to you. These are the kind of things that I never had before that, and afterwards when I got through it, I think I still am an introvert, but hey, I'm taking most of the screen time here.
Wow, thank you so much, Zunair. That was wonderful. Any last words to people who are listening in Pakistan, where they can find the clubs? How can they join, something like that?
So my first advice for them would be to take some time out for your own self. So there are three things that you need to manage in your life: your family, your professional life, and yourself. Take some time out for yourself. Spend some time on your own self, on self-realization, trying to understand what is it that you want to do with life and what are the things that you're lagging at, and work on them. It's not necessary that you join a Toastmasters club. Maybe you're already good at that. Maybe you don't really need that. Maybe you need something else. Find out that thing and work on it. If you think that communication or leadership skills are the kind of things that you need to work on, then Toastmasters is a great platform, because it's not a single class that you'll attend and go back and forget about it. It's the kind of place where you keep on coming and you work on your own pace, and it really works. And if you want to enter into the Toastmasters fraternity, if you want to know about it, go to Toastmasters International website, which is toastmasters.org, and you can find those classes in Pakistan, or you can go to toastmasters.pk, which is the website that was launched today. And there is also a link to find the clubs and all the activity that's happening. There's not much there, but we'll try to fill it up with amazing things as they happen from now onwards. So go find those clubs, attend a meeting. You don't need to be afraid of any kind of expectations. You can enter as a guest, just sit in a corner, observe the meeting, and if you feel that it will be helpful, come back as many times as you want, and you're ready. Then you start participating in things, and you can become a member and start tracking your progress. And I can assure you, you'll find some amazing people who will be helping you without any personal motive, and they'll support you. Everyone there is for the same kind of reasons, and you'll get to find some amazing support structure there. So do join us.
Cool. I'll try to find those links and put them in the description as well. Zunair, mate, I look forward to meet you in a few months, and thank you again for taking time out. Have a wonderful rest
Anytime.
of your
Stay
evening.
safe, stay healthy, man. These are difficult times. I can wait
Bye.
to get you back here. Bye
Perfect.
bye.